What's up guys, that got the pencil here, and it's been a minute. We haven't done an organization versus organization battle in a long while, so let's take two dangerous groups from their respective worlds and throw them into an intense bout of combat. Let's take the beings who plague existence, those who wield all parts of it while never dealing in it themselves, the squadron of nobodies who vie for nothing but hearts of their own, the original Organization 13 from Kingdom Hearts versus those outcasted from the ninja world, those who haunt the land of the Naruto world, the clan of S-rank missing named the Akatsuki from Naruto. Now, we have some criteria for this battle. As I said, I will be using the original organization with all of its members. This means Xemnas, Xigbar, Zaldin, Vexen, Lexius, Zexion, Saix, Axel, Demix, Luxord, Marluxia, Larxene, Roxas, and Shion. For the Akatsuki, we have Nagato's Akatsuki, so the Six Paths of Pain, Deidara, Hidan, Itachi, Kakazu, Kisame, Konan, Orochimaru, Sasori, Obito, and Zetsu. Now, I'll be honest, there's no way the Akatsuki can win, especially with stats unequalized. Even with stats equalized, it's pretty much impossible for them to win. Let me go through the unequalized stats real fast and explain why the Akatsuki simply die. In terms of pure power, all the organization members, even in the original, easily scale above Heartless, who in their weakest variations can destroy entire worlds. Depending on who you ask, those worlds range from planets to solar systems to universes. Or you can go with the calcs of Zeus rearranging stars, which the organization members upscale from, as they're all stronger than Zeus thanks to fighting with Sora, who can defeat Hades and the Titans, who are matches if not superior to Zeus. The strongest attacks of the Akatsuki hit country level, at best, and the techniques that do hit those levels include Deidara blowing himself up, and Pain / Nagato basically giving themselves an aneurysm. Even if you want to truly wake them to tailed beast levels, then use Kurama's databook statement, no Akatsuki member scales to that planetary level of power. Pain, arguably the strongest in terms of raw power in comparison to the rest of his Akatsuki members, could not even hold down half the 9 tails that was still being constrained by the seal, and at only around 8 tails, so the group is still overpowered. For the speed, the Akatsuki are very fast. With the right support, they can get to those 10 to 100 times the speed of light ranges, and possibly beyond by scaling up from characters like Kakashi, arguably scaling to characters like the Raikage based on how Itachi would scale to Mangekyo Sharingan Sasuke, who blitzes the Raikage, and characters like Pain scaling to Sage Naruto, who's also able to react to the Raikage. So overall, the Akatsuki are very fast. However, every nobody within the organization blitzes the soul out of every single Akatsuki member, as all scale to variations of Sora and Riku, some even downright blitzing them at times, and Sora and Riku are both faster than Monstro, who outpaces Gummy Ships, which are over 200,000 times the speed of light when lowballing. And of course, the organization members can all move in the realm of darkness, a place with no time, meaning they literally snap the speed equation in half. They are on an entirely different level in terms of speed in comparison to the Akatsuki. So let's say I ignore all that. Equalize the stats, the Akatsuki still can't win. Want to know why? Nobodies don't exist, and last I checked, the Akatsuki have no way to hit something that does not exist. So there's that. Meanwhile, the organization can most certainly hit the Akatsuki. On top of that, every organization member sort of has their own pseudo Kamui, as in, since they are nobodies, they can become intangible whenever they please. Not good for the Akatsuki, even if I ignore the fact that the Akatsuki shouldn't be able to hit them, even when they are tangible. Even if the organization is outnumbered, all of them can summon their respective nobody type, and even some can summon Heartless, and Heartless passively erase beings from existence by attacking them and stealing their hearts, which no Akatsuki member has shown any resistance to, so that wouldn't be good. Doesn't help that members of the organization aren't exactly known for being patient and holding back. Characters like Roxas, Shion, Saix, and Lexius come to mind. So, people like Kakazu, Deidara, Sasori, Pain, and Hidan are unlikely to be able to set up their techniques. And since they aren't really alive or dead, nobodies can't really die, so the Akatsuki doesn't really have a way to defeat them since none of them have access to non-existence existence erasure. On top of this, all the nobodies can open corridors of darkness and portals everywhere and anywhere to go fight or chase down Akatsuki members, and some members such as Roxas, Shion, Xemnas, Xigbar, Vexen, and Saix have all shown the capacity to fly or levitate, so there is no escaping to the air. Techniques like Genjutsu and Tsukuyomi from Itachi will be basically useless, as nobody, thanks to their non-existence and lack of emotions, don't feel pain, trauma, or anything thanks to their lack of hearts, so Itachi would just burn through his stamina to no effect. For the Totsuka Blade, once again, there's nothing to seal. And say he gets one, because for some reason it works, then he's getting jumped. Not just by organization members, but the countless nobodies and Heartless that the organization would be summoning. For Hidan's ritual, nobodies are empty husks that hypothetically should not bleed, but even if they do, whatever nobody he is fighting won't die from anything Hidan does due to their lack of ability to die from traditional means, due to their nobody status. Hisame's massive scale water attacks will mean nothing, considering all the nobodies can teleport away, and they have Demix who deals in water and wouldn't care about dealing with Hisame, considering he would likely just heal off of all Hisame's attacks. Obito's Kamui nonsense wouldn't bother the organization at all, considering even if they are grabbed and dragged away, all of them can easily leave the Kamui dimension since they all have access to darkness portals and aren't strangers to leaving realms, and of course, they can literally just leave. Fire style techniques would get hard-negged by Axel just existing, since it'll heal him. Dangerous massive explosions and microscopic bombs may be dangerous, but considering all the nobodies don't need to breathe, and the fact that they need to be erased from existence to be destroyed, they'll likely tank the damage and heal it off, especially with characters like Roxas and Shion, who can literally just heal it off themselves or other people. Not to mention the fact that a lot of Akatsuki will be dead from it themselves, unless Data warns them of it. And that's if Data can even set it up. Sasori's poison once again is sort of irrelevant, as they do not need to breathe, and characters like Zolden hard counter gas clouds and could send them right back at the Akatsuki. Paper gets pretty much ignored by everyone, if not burned away by Axel. Shinron Tensei would be dangerous until the organization member just leaves the battle real quick via corridors of darkness and comes back. Same thing with Chibaku Tensei. Zetsu's self-spam would be hard countered by the nobody spam and heartless spam summoning, so it's the same case with Sasori's puppets as well, as no matter how many he summons, the organization will be able to outsummon him. All of Orochimaru's techniques wouldn't be too effective since his summonings are worthless, they have no souls to steal, and Orochimaru's transforming just makes him a bigger target. Now, I'm going to be real honest with you. It's unlikely this will be a group-on-group fight, considering every single organization member can just seal off an area and force an Akatsuki member to 1v1 them, with barriers spawning. Xemnas could probably rip Pain off to another dimension. Xigbar is definitely liable to snag Obito and drag him off somewhere. Zolden is likely to chase Konan into the air and fight her there. Vexen is very likely to play defensive against Hidan or whoever he fights, scanning their data and forcing them to fight a copy of themselves. Lexius is likely to get matched up against his fellow Earth user Datara and will be charging through explosions. I could see Zexion and Itachi locked in a battle of illusion, but Zexion would have the upper hand due to his lack of emotions to be manipulated and the inability to feel anything such as pain. Kakuzu and Saix would probably have a fun time going berserk on one another, Saix tearing through Kakuzu while he tries to set up his hearts. And I could see Demix being forced to fight Kisame, considering he's a fellow water user, and their fight would actually be fun equal stats, since Demix would just take no damage from anything Kisame does, but Kisame would be able to avoid a lot of Demix. Orochimaru vs Axel would be intriguing to watch if Vexen doesn't seal the fight with his fellow scientists, mainly because Axel would just trap Orochimaru in flames and see how long he lasts. Sasori and Luxord's battle would be a crazy one, with Luxord messing with time, stealing puppets, and endlessly pressuring Sasori. And Marluxia would likely end up testing his plant manipulation against Zetsu, reaping the garden again and again and again. And that leaves Larxene, Roxas, and Shion just running around the battlefield, jumping any unfortunate Akatsuki member who did not want to get jumped by a Savage Nymph and her electric knife-bearing clones, a light and darkness wielding speed demon with 2 keyblades and a bloodlust, or a transforming ability-stealing clone with a tendency for bisection. Yeah, it doesn't look good for the Akatsuki in any way, shape, or form. Their opponents pretty casually tear them apart, and even when restricting their non-existent physiology, the other factors that the nobodies have, from easy BFR to their own dimensions or the realm of darkness, to the fact that a lot of nobodies can simply brute force their way through the Akatsuki due to their biology, all the nobodies having their own unique or shared hacks that range from negating durability, to weakening defenses, to manipulating time and space, to the nobody's ability to summon more nobodies and Heartless, the latter of which casually existence erased with their attacks, and I'm not sure what you want the Akatsuki to do. For how I believe the battle would actually go, I'd say like 9.99999 times out of 10 straight in the organization's favor. Because like I said, unequal stats, it's just unfair. It's literally the Akatsuki just getting absolutely blitz murder stomped by the organization, who are barely trying at this point since they're moving nowhere near their top speeds to even closely destroy the Akatsuki. It's a completely unfair match in that point. None of the Akatsuki's hacks matter, especially since even Hidan, the Immortal, would get killed, ironically enough, by any of the organization members, since they all can destroy Pirates of the Caribbean characters who should be neither alive nor dead, but that doesn't really matter to them because the organization's just that strong. They literally can just ignore the fact that you're neither alive nor dead and can kill you anyway, because why not? And then equal stats, it's still just really unfair, because the various hacks that the nobodies have by simply existing, because they don't exist, that means since none of the Akatsuki have proven that they can hit things that don't exist, they just can't fight back. They could probably see the organization, they could probably feel the organization because the organization is going to attack them, but they aren't going to be able to do anything back. Can you imagine? Hidan's just going to swing at Roxas, and Roxas is going to watch as the blade just passes through him, because Hidan's never shown the ability to hit things that don't exist before, so he's easily getting bopped. Then, of course, you have the fact that even if I limit that, they're still getting bopped, because what are they going to do against people who can either A, throw them into other dimensions. B, BFR them. C, just wipe them from existence themselves. Like, or just summon beings who can wipe them from existence. I'm not sure how the organization will deal with a whole bunch of Heartless, because none of them have shown resistance to existence erasure. The only ones that could probably take that just fine are the Pains, because they don't really have an existence to erase, but it's very likely that then Xemnas, who's likely to be fighting the Pains because he's going to view them as their leader, or anyone else would just brute force body the Pains. And honestly, I could see the Pains being the last one standing, and even then, I could see them easily being outnumbered and overwhelmed, because no one's going to be able to do anything. That's the main issue. They have no way to destroy organization members, since to destroy organization members, to kill them, to get rid of them, whatever terminology you want to use, you literally have to erase their non-existence from existence somehow. How that works, I personally don't know. Kingdom Hearts is very, very weird, but regardless, I just don't see it happening. I cannot see something like that happening, because no one in Naruto's done it. Even Madara's Limbo clones, they exist, just on a different plane of existence. Meanwhile, none of the Akatsuki have even been proven to interact with Madara's Limbo clones, so they're still just sort of messed up there, because they have nothing to prove that they can destroy the organization, even if I let the organization get hit by them. None of their biggest attacks are going to do anything, because they can all be easily avoided by an organization member being like, well, peace out, I'll be back, and then coming back and then killing them. That's the thing. I can't think of a way for the Akatsuki to win. And this all comes down to the fact that the organization are nobodies. So by them simply existing as nobodies, they've won the fight, because you need to prove a whole lot of things to even attack nobodies, not to talk of destroying them. And even if I gave them all those benefits of the doubts, the organization just has the hacks. They have, ironically enough, with their summoning, the numbers. They have the diversity to match everything. All the elemental moves aren't going to work on any of the elemental members. The time and space manipulation by Obito isn't going to do anything, because they can all teleport. Anything else just doesn't really work, especially since it's just the organization just strictly outdoes them on almost every single level, except for maybe numbers. That's it. And even then, the numbers can be hard countered by nobody and Heartless summoning. And like I said, the Heartless may be more dangerous to the Akatsuki than the organization. So there's all that. That's all I have to say for this battle, really. Like, it's sad to think about. If you guys can think of a way the Akatsuki can win with equal stats, let me know. If the argument is, oh, well, you just have to completely ignore the fact that they're nobodies, well, is that really an argument? That's like saying, oh, I have to ignore the fact that, I don't even know, like, that's just limiting a big factor of what they are. They're literally a group of nobodies, but whatever. Please, in the comment section down below, if you can think of an argument for the Akatsuki, go off. I want to hear it, because I kind of want the Akatsuki to win somehow, because I'm only saying this, I only even did this battle because I've seen it online a lot. I'm just like, and a lot of people say the Akatsuki win, and I just squint like, how? And I'm not talking equal stats, they're talking unequal stats, and I just want to know, huh? How? But if you guys can come up with an explanation, I want to hear it, just because it'd be interesting to see. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is That Guy with a Pencil, writing off.